Hello beautiful friends, I'm here today with another project for the Maggie Holmes Monday series. This is a series that I am participating in this year with the lovely Gwen, who owns the Cut to You store, and I will leave a link to her YouTube channel down in my description box below so that you can head over and check out all the amazing things that she is creating as part of this series. So today I'm working with the Marigold collection. This is fairly new and it's certainly new to my stash, and I'm really excited about getting stuck in and playing with some of these beautiful products. I have 3 photos which I've printed out, which are from a family photo session that we had in the lead up to our wedding in 2019, and I just wanted to document there's lots and lots of photos from that photo session, and I just want to start getting some of those onto pages. So if you have seen any of my previous videos, you may notice that I have done things a little bit differently. I'm trying out skipping my usual live recording of an introduction, just in an attempt to try and reduce the length of my videos a little bit. I know that most people do prefer the shorter videos, so let me know in the comments what you think about this new format for me, whether you prefer the traditional introductions or if you're happy for me to just get stuck straight in to my process. While I've been chattering away, I'm just showing you here how I've had a flick through all of the papers, and I selected a whole bunch of papers from both the 6x8 paper pad and the 12x12 papers that I had. I've trimmed some of them down just into, I really didn't put a lot of thought into it, just into lots of random sizes, and then I have run them through each of those pieces of patterned paper. I have run through my sewing machine, and I've actually added a double stitched border around each of those pieces. So my approach for this layout was to keep it fairly simple. I wanted to move pretty quickly. I'm really trying in 2021 to get more scrapbooking done, and for me the way that that's going to be achieved is by, first of all, getting more organized, and that's something that I'm working on behind the scenes, but also in really simplifying the way that I create my layouts. While I love the intricate designs of the hand stitch layouts and the beautiful mixed media backgrounds, for me they do take a little bit of time. So I'm really, with this layout, I came in with the goal of just trying to make it as simple as possible, but of course I still want that real visual interest, and I've achieved that here by adding those stitch borders around each of these paper pieces. And then you can see that I am just using my fingernail and running it around the edges of each of those, just to lift up the edges of those pieces of paper. And then I had planned on just layering them all up on my background and sticking them down and using that as the base or the foundation for my page. So I've been playing around with the placement a little bit. I got a really good idea of where I wanted each of those pieces of patterned paper to go. So I was making sure that I had a really good balance of colors, because I've got a few different colors in here. It's not a monochromatic layout. I have pulled a few different colors from the palette of this collection. So I just want to make sure that there's a balance. That blue floral paper is quite bold against the creams and the whites and the pinks. So I've made sure that where I've got it over on the right hand side, I have this smaller 3x4 cut apart piece, which I'm struggling with now, down on the left, just to help to balance that out a little bit. And I hope that by the time I've finished layering all these pieces down, you can see how that balance, that visual balance, has been achieved. I'm using my T-square ruler because this is quite a simple layout in terms of design. For me, it was really important to make sure that everything was lined up nice and straight against the page, because I know that if I hadn't done that, it would be the first thing that I see when I look at it. It would be really obvious to me where things aren't lined up properly. And I also make sure with my T-square ruler that I am placing them, that I'm mindful of the borders on either side of the page. So I'm making sure that, again, there's balance. So when you're looking at it here, the top left piece comes over to the side, I'm making sure that down on the bottom right, I have a piece that is roughly the same distance away from the right border of the page. And I cut this strip longer, intending this to be the spot which would house my 3 photos. I have this beautiful piece of gold foil paper which came from the 6x8 paper pad. And I'm just going to layer that up underneath. My photos, I have already matted them onto just a piece of plain white cardstock to give them a nice white border, but I also did want to add a little bit of vellum behind them just to really help soften up the edges and to add a soft touch to the layering here. So I am still using the ATG, which is fairly new to me. It's something that I got for Christmas. I will admit I have had a few teething problems with it. I'm not sure if that's user error or if it's just something that everybody experiences, but mostly I am still quite happy with the ATG, and yeah, I'm going to keep going, and it's something that I am pretty happy that I've added to my stash. And just using my little paper trimmer there to trim those down, and again using my fingers to rough up the edges, or my fingernails to rough up the edges of that vellum there, just to add a little bit of extra texture and interest to the edges of those photos. And now I am coming in with my giant roll of foam tape. If you are new to my channel, I have mentioned this a few times in my videos before. This is a really big roll of tape that I buy inexpensively at Bunnings, which is a big hardware store chain here in Australia. The one that I purchase is acid-free. It's a photo mounting tape, photo mounting tape, so it is available in the hardware store. I really like it. It's quite a thin tape. It's very economical compared to foam tapes that you buy that are made or marketed towards scrapbookers or crafting. But the only gripe that I have with it is that the backing on the tape can be a little bit tricky to remove. So yeah, you're seeing me here. I quite often reach for my little paper piercing tool there just to lift up the edge. Once you get that edge off, it's usually okay, but it's just getting that first corner off sometimes is a little bit tricky. But that's all done now. I'm using my T-square ruler once again to line those up. So my title for this page, I just went straight for this really large chipboard piece from the chipboard, the 12x12 chipboard sheet that comes with the collection, and it says "So Sweet." Ordinarily, these kind of really big pieces I find a little bit more difficult to use. So this time around I thought to myself, you know what, I'm just going to go for that piece straight away and use it up, and then I'm not faced with a situation where I've got this 12x12 sheet of chipboard and I've got this really large piece and I just don't know how or where to use it. So it does fit in really well on this layout, and I'm super glad that I got to make use of it. Off camera, I have been through the ephemera packs. So with this collection, there were 2 ephemera packs. There was one floral ephemera pack and one normal ephemera pack, and each of them included some beautiful vellum pieces with gold foil. So I've just been through and I've pulled out a few of the pieces that I think will fit well with this layout, and I've just chosen some florals. As you have seen, I've tucked in some of those gold foil vellum pieces. And now I'm just going to fiddle and fuss around trying to figure out what I want to do with the rest of these embellishments to create a couple of small clusters, one at the top right and one just to the left, one at the top left and one just to the right of my photo. I really wanted to make that butterfly work, but it just doesn't quite fit with this page, so it doesn't make it on. I'm ready to start sticking stuff down now, so I am using just some of my little foam strip tape here and my wet adhesive to help me layer up with some dimension. And I am going to keep these fairly simple. This thankful tag came from a perforated tag sheet, which was in the embellishment kit, and I love the extra interest or the extra texture that the perforated edges give. So I've kept those in. I also pulled, this collection includes lots of fauna, so little birds, I think there's a deer, lots of little animals in the icons in the ephemera. So I wanted to include a couple of little birds here. So I've got that little bird up to the top left in that cluster, and I will come in a moment with an owl. I apologize, my camera is obviously not too sturdy on my desk at the moment. So you would have just seen then I did cut one of the flowers in half. The florals in this collection they're quite big, and it was really too big for me to tuck into behind that photo the way that I wanted it to. So I trimmed it in half, and I know that I will make use of the other half of that floral on another layout somewhere. So this cute little owl, I wanted to include that. It came off the 6x12 sticker sheet, but these stickers are quite thin. They don't really have a lot of stability to them. I can't think of the right word. Because it was going to be hanging off the edge a little bit, I have just stuck it down onto some white scrap cardstock that I had sitting next to me, and I've just fussy cut that out, and that gives it a bit more of a solid base, so I can just adhere it down. And I am going to add a little bit of foam tape for the edge that is hanging off the photo, but it just helps it to stay a little bit more solid with that white paper background there. Now I'm ready to add my journaling. So I fully admit that at the moment I'm just having a little bit of trouble with my journaling. I think part of that is because the photos that I've been working with lately are not necessarily documenting particular events, but just photos that I really feel like I want to put onto a scrapbook page. So what I am reverting to right now is just hopping online and finding some quotes that really speak to me. So I've just been using some Google searches and just finding quotes that I think either suit the photos or suit the feel of the layout, and that's what I've been doing. That's certainly what I did on this layout, and that's what I've been doing on some other layouts. So let me know in my comments below, or in the comments below, are you a big journaler, or is journaling not your thing? Do you use quotes, or how do you approach it when you're really struggling with getting your journaling down? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And we are just about ready to finish up because, of course, my Nuvo drops have come out. I've got two colours that I've used here. I've got the Bubblegum Blush, and I believe I've used the Mustard Gold, and I'm just going to scatter those around a little bit. And then to finish off, I come in with these sweet little tiny puffy stickers that came with the collection, and I'm just going to add a few of those in and around my layout. And that's it. So of course I've got some close-up photos coming in just a moment. If you are new to my channel and you like what I do, I would really love for you to go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can join me here for all of my upcoming videos. If you have enjoyed this, I would love for you to leave me a comment or hit the like button. All the engagement that I get with my channel really does help me to grow my channel. If you are a regular viewer, thank you so much as always for all of your support. But thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.